Well, guys, you've seen this thing sitting around. I have yet to come up with a name, I believe. It needs a little work. I do not have my rotisserie ready for this cab yet, but there are some things that I can do the way it sets. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of that stuff taken care of. This cab will be about like Southern Stride. Almost everything's getting replaced. We are going to save the door frame. These are getting changed. The dash is staving. The A-pillars. The inner roof skin. And the cowl. I believe that's everything getting saved. Everything else is getting replaced. The firewall, the rockers, full floor pan, inner panel. It's getting a big back window panel put in it. This one's 8 up. It is getting a full back wall panel. And if you step up here, it's getting a new roof skin. All right. And we got a bunch of little parts here. There's your full floor. There's your new rockers. Here is your big back window conversion panel. And here is the big back window wall panel. Let's see. I got parts everywhere, man. I got parts everywhere. Oh, I slid it over here. Here is your new roof skin. Firewall panel. Yeah, I am going to get it off the skid for one and go ahead and start setting up. Get some of this stuff taken care of. It'll be done before I put it on the rotisserie. Doing it old school for a minute. Before I do the floors, I want to put it on the rotisserie. That it just makes it so much easier to roll around and weld and all that stuff. Let's see, I believe it's getting kick panels too. I believe he's got them. Otherwise, I'm sure I got a set or 2 or 4. Stuff like that. When I was buying in bulk, because this body style of cab, I was doing at least 4 to 5 of them cabs a year. So I was buying in bulk, and I've since slowed way down on that stuff. I just spread out into the others, you know. Can't put all your hens in one egg basket. All right, well, let's get it off this skid. We'll get it sitting on the hoist and see what we can get started today. Alrighty then. All right, guys, since I'm replacing the back wall and the floors and everything, I'm not gonna get too picky with it. I'm gonna get the back wall removed. So I come through here and hit all the spot welds. Fun fact, see that number? That was done on the assembly line. When you replace this back wall, if you want it to look factory, you need to stamp those numbers back in there. I'm not gonna do that. He don't really care about it being factory, so I'm just going through and blowing the tacks off there, the spot welds, getting that out of the way. Another thing, this is factory, never been cut on before. Look at the alignment. Factory alignment is not perfect. Look at the alignment on this side. It's even worse. That is factory. I try to get them closer than that, of course, but depends on how everything fits. This sure beats the snot out of them spot weld cutters. Boy, they were spot weld happy over here. That guy must have been trying to make his boss think he was busy or something. Funny thing, see how those are all 1 inch apart? I did a 65 Chevy cab one time, replaced the roof skin on, and now this was back before they started reproducing the roof skin. I went to Upper Peninsula of Michigan, picked up a rust-free skin. When I come back, I started cutting that 65 apart, and half the cab, from the center of the cab up the one side and half the cab in the front was welded like that all the way around. The other side of the cab, the welds were about, like that, 2 inches apart. So the guy on the one side must have just been having too much fun that day. You know what? I should raise it up, but I'm almost done here. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I'll just get the bottom half out of the way. Now you don't have to do that, but it makes it a little easier. Just makes it a little easier to get this back panel off. Okay, now I'm gonna let it down. Yeah, I'll let it down and get some of the other parts off. All right. You can do all this without a lift and without a rotisserie. I've done it many times, but it is nice to have them. So yeah, I'm gonna use it. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get this panel, the bulk of the panel, get off there, out of my way. It's junk, it's scrap, there's no saving any of this. So I'm just not worried about it. All right, so what I'm gonna do, these spot welds, I'm gonna do just a little bit different than I did the back. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna cut just this side of that line. and I'm going to drop this back panel off out of the way. We're saving this. So instead of blowing through, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the air chisel and I'm going to chisel all that lip off there. That way I save this inner structure that it welds to. And, well, I ain't got it unboxed. The new panel, I'll drill holes and I'll plug weld back into place. That way I don't have to plug any holes in this. GoPro capture. Now, you don't have to have a plasma, but it helps. It really does help. All right, now, I'm not popping the inner panel out just yet. So I'm going to go around this lip and get this cut loose from the inner panel. Okay, now that that's all loose, I need to focus on the inside of the cab. Now, on the inside, this panel here, you don't get with the back wall or the floor. How I'm doing this, I'm gonna blow all these spot welds out, leave this panel attached to the floor. When I put the new panel on the back, I come in and plug weld those right to the back of the cab. And then when I go to change the floor, it's not welded to the floor. When I change the floor, that keeps the floor height and the level of the floor right where the factory was. See, now that back wall is loose. I could not see it. All right, I'm gonna grab a big screwdriver. Where is the last spot weld? I don't see it. There we go. All right, you might be thinking we're done, but no, we're not. Now we gotta cut the bottom of this loose from the back wall. Ah. Now, if this back wall inner window panel was being saved, after I do this, I could run drill through there, clean it up, and I could just plug weld that right back to the new wall. But it's getting replaced, so. Now you sparked me in the face. Don't go burning my beard. We don't need none of that stuff. Nobody liked me without a beard. I told you, don't be burning my beard. I can smell the hair burning. Now, if that back panel was good and we was leaving it, at this point, I would clean all this up and undercoat every bit of it. But it's getting replaced, so I do need to get some measurements and put these in the new panel. He wants to put shoulder belts in there. I don't know how they did that because that's not factory. I wonder how they got up in there to do that. But I'm not worried about that right now. I need to get this out of my way. I don't need to go through and hit all them spot welds. Those clips are always junk. I always weld that and grind it to where it's smooth. So what I need to do is clip it right here and across. That gets all that out of the way. And then all I gotta do is clean this lip up, start cleaning areas, and it's ready to go back on. I cannot see. I lost my ground again. It was doing real good. Why ain't you coming off there? Stay. Now, like I said, I'm not replacing this door frame and I'm not replacing this front piece. So I'm just gonna get this skin out of the way and then I'll use the chisel just like I do down there. All right. Now, I'm gonna show you the insulation that they were big in advertising for when these trucks came out. When these trucks came out, one of their biggest advertising gimmicks was fully insulated roof panel for more comfort for the passengers. I've got the ad somewhere. And yeah, fully insulated roof panels. I'll show you what they meant. Ain't that something? Now you should be wearing a mask doing this because that is asbestos. But I'm not planning on eating it, so I might just lick my fingers, but you know, that's all right. They put a strip up here that was approximately 18 inches by 12 inches right in the center, and they called that insulation. Unreal. Oh boy. Okay, now I got to get that cleaned up, get all the edges cleaned up. See, now I can come in here and air chisel all that off there. Air chisel all this off here. Take my wire wheel and clean this roof panel up real good. Get it all undercoated. And it's ready to go back together. Now, before I put this back panel on, I'm gonna go ahead and blow these spot welds out across here and go ahead and remove this panel. It's stable, it's not going nowhere. So, yeah, I might put a piece from here to there just for a peace of mind. But I get this panel out of here, I can go ahead and put that big back window panel in. And put the back wall on and the roof skin, and that right there will be a done deal. Well guys, with all the interruptions I've had today, I didn't video much, but I got the roof all cleaned up, undercoated, and one more person just left. So I'm gonna try to get all this chisel work done, get that cleaned up and out of the way, and I guess continue with it tomorrow. That is so annoying. All right, grind that one up. Alright, time for the plasma. Kind of hard to see some of them. hard to see it with that light blinding me. Guys, that one fought me. Now, before I go any farther, I'm going to put a piece across there. You don't have to have a ground, but yeah you do. It really helps to have a ground. Come on now. What do you think? Make a crew cab? I might have seen somebody do that once or twice. Man, some of them spot welds were fighting me. All right, that is ready to grind up. Run a drill through all them holes, make the edges clean so the welds are clean. I don't need to do anything down here. I do need to clean those up, clean this up, and undercoat it, which I got to pick up some undercoating in the morning. And I gotta pick up my furnace wrap to put on the top of this. Clean all these up. Get this last little bit here off. Pick up some more undercoating, drill them holes, grind it up. And this section will be ready to go back together. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna get out of here. I've got to hook my trailer up. Dad needs this. He ordered some lights for his shop. So I'm gonna run that out to him first thing in the morning. And then I'm gonna go pick up the furnace wrap for the roof. Some more undercoating. If I can think of anything else, I'm gonna have to write it down. I'm thinking that's about all I'm gonna need. I'll get that all cleaned up, get the furnace wrap put on top, and then the first thing I'm gonna do is get this back wall put in. He wants to keep his seams, so that's why I separated it the way I did. I'll drill these out, clamp it, it'll be good. Once that's on there, then I can hang the back wall on and the roof skin Tech screwed on, not welded. Put the back wall and the roof on there, get everything nice and squared up and aligned, and then I'll go through and weld it. I got one hole. Yeah. One hole right in that dang corner. I'll plug weld that. Probably welded on, yeah, welded on that side. That way there's less to grind. Go through, tap all these back together where I dimpled it. There's not a whole lot of them. About 5 or 6 of them there. 2 here, 1 here. Just tweak them back and forth. After I get the roof on there, it'll be better that way. But I think if I can get the roof skin, inner and outer back wall on tomorrow, if I got enough time, I'll do this front panel. Get that front panel on there, and then that, and I believe got a little dent right there, but that ain't no big deal. One spot right here to pull that back in place and weld it, and as far as I know, from here to there and from there to there will be done. And then as soon as I get my rotisserie, I can roll it over and do the floors and rockers. Rockers first, of course. Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm gonna get out of here, go get me a shower, cleaning that roof up. I got nasty. All right, guys, till tomorrow, have a blessed evening.